Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are on day 5 of foundation week. This week has gone by super fast. I don't know if it's because I have been just really scurrying trying to get these videos edited and out to y'all, but I have had fun while doing it and I hope that you have enjoyed it as well. But alas, we are on the last day. And if you want to hear something funny, this foundation should not qualify for this week at all. I got a sample of this foundation because I could have sworn I saw alcohol in the ingredients when it first launched. I mean, I literally can see it in my head reading the ingredients on a website. I can only assume it was Sephora. We're going to be talking about the Beautyblender Bounce Liquid Whip Longwear Foundation. So I get the sample, I come home, I start organizing my thoughts for this week, putting it in order of what foundations I want to talk about, and going through the ingredients, and I get to this one and I look at the ingredients and there's absolutely no fragrance. There's absolutely no alcohol. And I'm like, why did I pick this foundation? But apparently I was having a tired day, but alas, I want to make sure that all 5 days are covered in this foundation week. So now we're just getting an extra review of a foundation that I would have bought the full size. So we are going to talk about the new Beautyblender foundation. If you're new or have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, this is the foundation week where I am sampling foundations that I would not normally buy the full size of, either because they have alcohol, fragrance, or a combination of the two. And it is a personal choice that I try not to buy foundations with either one of those ingredients in it. So I got little samples so I could still do reviews for y'all. So if you want to see how this non-alcohol, non-fragranced foundation works for me and my skin, then just keep on watching. Okay, so even though this foundation doesn't really go with my foundation week, since apparently I can't read ingredients, I am still going to review it because I want to make sure all 5 days are filled up with foundations. So we are going to go ahead and get into this new Beautyblender foundation. So I'm in the color 340. Is it 340? Or maybe 3.4. It's written on this little Sephora thing where all my samples came in. Let me see. Okay, I don't really know, but I think it's 3.4, which says it's a medium plus with warm red undertones. Okay, so this foundation is, I think it doesn't say on Sephora's, but I think it's like 1 ounce. I'll put it down here on the screen. It retails for $40 and comes in 32 shades. I'm going to tell you about these shades. I know there was a big uproar about it because I remember hearing about how the range of shades is like 75% range of like light shades and then maybe like 15% actual dark shades and a few medium shades put in the middle. So while the shade number is higher than some, the range is not good. And I know that firsthand from trying to pick a color with my friend at Sephora because I felt like every single color on 2 sides of the color that I picked was basically the same shade. And so if within like 5 foundations I'm getting the same kind of coloring, it just proves that the range is very poor. So I'm hoping that they kind of fix that. But as far as the claims, this one claims to be matte. So most of the ones that I've talked about this week, for the exception of the Dior on Monday, have been more luminous radiant foundations. So this one is a full coverage matte finish, and it's again for all skin types. It has hyaluronic acid and white birch extract, and there is a long list of what they call ingredient call outs, which is right here, and that's all the ingredients that it's free of. I don't know where I saw alcohol in the list, honestly, but it doesn't have mineral oil, sulfates, parabens, formaldehyde, formaldehyde releasing agents, phthalates, retinol palmitate, oxybenzone, coal tar, hydroquinone, triclosan, triclocarbon, and fragrance. This product is also vegan, cruelty-free, and gluten-free. Okay, so it's got a hyper whip process that makes it to where it's whisked into light as air texture for unparalleled blendability. And it says that it wears for up to 24 hours. So let's just get right into it. You see my face. I feel like, yeah, my redness is normal. So if you're new, go straight down. So this one is thinner in texture. It's a little bit more liquidier. That's not a word. A little bit more liquid than the other foundations that I've talked about, but that was the color 3.4. Now, I will say, you know, obviously I don't have the full-size packaging, but I am not a fan of the packaging of this one. you know, they have it to where you pump it out and it pumps out onto the actual bottle, where they have an imprint of an actual beauty blender and it's supposed to fit perfectly in there. That's just not sanitary to me. Like, unless I sanitize that bottle every time I use it, I'm not sticking a beauty blender onto it. So let's see. I'm just not a fan of the packaging in general. Let's see. Obviously it says to use a damp beauty blender, fingertips, or a brush to apply the foundation center of the face and work outward and build and layer for more coverage. So we're gonna do what we've been doing and do a brush on one side and a beauty blender on the other. So this says it's full coverage, so I'm putting really minimal product, even though it may look like it's a lot, it's not at all. And so I'm just gonna stipple this on and then build if we need to, versus putting too much on at the very get-go and having it be cakey. This is a very thin formula, so I do appreciate that. It's not thick at all. So I stopped using, I haven't used my retinol from Truth Treatments in like 2 weeks, because I was like, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break because I'm so sick of peeling. And y'all, I can tell, I'm using it tonight because I can tell there was so much buildup on my face, and I know nobody else is gonna be able to see it, but no one knows your face better than you do. And just the feel of it and everything just proves to me how important that retinol is. So I'm not loving the way it looks right now, but I would say that's pretty full coverage. Like, I don't really see much redness. I don't know if it's gonna come off in the camera or not, but I'm not seeing much at all. And that little bit did cover exactly what I wanted it to. I'm gonna put a little tiny bit up here, and I don't see any like noticeable streaks that I need to go back and fix. So even though this is a Beauty Blender foundation, it apparently blends out perfectly fine with a brush as well. All right, so let's try the other side with a Beauty Blender. And I'm gonna start off with about the same amount of product. I can't say for sure because I'm not pumping this out, so I can't say that I used one pump on every side, but it feels about the same. And we're gonna see how, and this is a true Beauty Blender, so I'm not using a knockoff. Just in case anybody's like, well, you didn't use an actual Beauty Blender. Surely none of y'all would say that, but just in case. All right, right off the bat, you can see that it's not near as full coverage. I can still see the line right here of my redness. I'm not mad about that because I don't necessarily want full coverage, but you can visually see the difference in coverage with a Beauty Blender and a brush. So because I want it to match that side, I'm gonna go over this and we're gonna see how it builds. And just stipple a little bit on with a brush. Yeah. See, that covered quite a bit of it. So while both methods work, I'm not even gonna try the fingertips, y'all. I just don't like fingertips. While both brush and Beauty Blender work, it will just depend on how much coverage you're wanting out of the foundation as to which one you use. Okay, so full face done with just the foundation. Again, full coverage. I do feel like it is more of a matte finish. Like, I'm not even really seeing a ton of luminosity come through from my skincare, even though it's been a few hours since I've done my skincare. Typically, I still have a little bit left. I mean, when the light shines on it, I see a little bit, but overall, it is a pretty matte foundation. So, I'm gonna finish up my makeup. I'll be right back. So, I did use a little bit of a cream bronzer because I just felt like it needed a little bit of warming up. And everything went over it perfectly fine. It is matte, and I will say, I don't know that if you have dry skin that you're even gonna need to set this if you find that it works for you, because it did dry down to a pretty matte finish as well. It wasn't tacky at all, which I can't say for a lot of the other ones. Even the Dior felt a little tacky, like I needed to set it. This one was much more of a dry down situation, so I'll be eager to see how it holds up throughout a workout. But so far so good. I think for a matte foundation, it's sitting pretty well on my pores. And like I said, I mean, obviously I added some glow. I did spray my face pretty well because I just don't like a super matte look. But I think that you will see that it kind of mixes with normal oils throughout the day and looks okay. So I'm gonna go through the day. It is now 11:20. So I put it on about 11 o'clock. I'm really close to y'all, sorry. And I've got some work I've got to do. I've got to go to the gym, and then I've got gymnastics tonight. So woohoo, fun day. And I will come back later on and show you how it held up throughout the day. Okay guys, I've had the foundation on for 9.5 hours. It's 8:30. And I have to say, I am very pleasantly surprised with this foundation. I don't want to say surprised because I didn't really have any like preconceived notions going into it, but I am pleasantly satisfied, I guess I should say. And I will say, I do feel like this doesn't have the best reviews. I mean, it's got decent reviews, but as I was reading through them, there were quite a few like, I've got dry skin, I don't like this. I've got oily skin, I don't like this. And so what I figured out is that because everybody seemed to like the Lancome that I reviewed yesterday that didn't work for me. I mean, everybody was like, oh, this is one of my favorite foundations. And since it works for everybody, I've come to the realization that what I like, the majority doesn't, and vice versa, I guess, because I do really like this foundation. So we are gonna, oh, I'm really having to reach to zoom in. I need to scoot in closer, I guess. So I did work out today. Keep that in mind. And I did sweat a good bit. So know that. The only place that I see it, like there's that little line right there on my hairline where it's kind of starting to wear off. But other than that, there's no visible like patches, huge patches. There's one tiny one right there, like there has been for some of the other foundations. I feel like the lifelines are about as minimal as they have been this week. And when I do that, they kind of even get better. And I did have a happy day today, so I did smile a lot. I still feel like the coverage is basically still there. I'm starting to see a little bit of my redness pop through right there. But other than that, like it's rubbed off a little bit on my nose now that I'm looking real close. Like I can see a little bit of a red spot on my nose. But other than that, I mean, it's held up really well. So I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but it is a slightly more luminous finish now that I've gone throughout the day. It's not quite as matte as it was when I first applied it, but I'm okay with that because I'm not a huge matte person anyways. So I appreciate the fact that it looked more and more like skin throughout the day. And I did mean to show y'all, I'm like probably making y'all dizzy from zooming in so much, but I do feel like my pores look better than they've looked all week. Like with any other foundation, I do feel like they look better. I don't know if it's going to come across on camera, but I promise you, they look better. So again, I mean, this is probably one I'm going to suggest you get a sample of. I really suggest you get samples of all foundations before you buy them if you are able to, if you're near a Sephora where you are able to, or a Nordstrom, because I know not everybody is. Because it had such split reviews that I would hate to say, oh yes, I recommend it for everybody, because I just don't know. I mean, foundations work obviously way different on some people than they do other people. So I don't want to say yes for sure this is amazing. I do have a few foundations that I will say skip the samples, go straight to buy it. I feel that strongly about recommending them. I just don't know about this one yet because this is only the third time I've worn it, so I can't say for sure. But I do know that all week this and the YSL have been my favorite foundations that I've tried this week by far. This one held up even better than the YSL. But if you want something more luminous and more skin-like, the YSL is going to be what you want. If you want something a little bit more coverage and a little bit more matte, and that, for me anyways, lasts a lot longer, doesn't patch off in certain places, this might be one you want to try. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. That is the end of foundation week. Sad to see it go, but I'll be back on Monday with another video and regularly scheduled programming. So if you have not already, please subscribe and like so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me this foundation week. Y'all are awesome. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.